God gave famine to Egypt, but he gave the famine to Egypt so that Joseph will rise on it. When famine comes, don't complain with people. Oh, all this, what's all this? What's that? What's that? What's that? Listen to this. It's an opportunity for your rise. You know, especially economies where things are dysfunctional and don't work. In Nigeria, people always come. There's no light. There's no this. That no light is somebody's opportunity to create a power project.
You're watching the Liberty Church London with Dr. Shola and Bimbo Fola Alade. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
Hello, our viewers, and welcome to our weekly program where we hear relevant truths delivered in a practical way. In this broadcast, I'm going to be delving into a series where we'll be talking about preparation. Abraham Lincoln was quoted to have said that success happens when preparation meets opportunity. In this program, I'm going to be talking about opportunities, choices, and your habits, and how they can set you up for failure or success in life. You choose. Come on, let's quickly go into our program as we unveil the truth about preparation.
As we were walking, he said, "Can you see how dirty this place is?" I said, "Yeah, it's dirty." He said, "That's a business." He says, "That is somebody's business." I said, "How?" He said, "Listen to this. I said, "Do you know how many planes come every? Do you know how many of these things are? Do you know how many airports there are? If somebody just dedicates his business to cleaning airports," said he's going to be a multi-millionaire. Meanwhile, you walk past and say, "Yeah, that's someone's business." Some of you walk past dustbins and things and even say, "Oh, what's that smelling?" That's somebody's business is to remove what is smelling. Every day you walk past opportunities. My sons are said into Bitcoin, and you know, one of them in particular is it's just amazing. He knows everything. He knows that people actually send, whatever, "Can you invest for me?" But then one day he said to me, "Dad, anytime I open my whatever, I get direct messages in my inbox asking me questions, just things that just annoy you. Look, it's so simple. Say, what is Bitcoin? Why should you ask that kind of question? What is this?" And I get 27 when I say, "What is Bitcoin? What is it about? How do you?" I said, "Don't get irritated, get smart." And if you have 27 questions asking the same whatever, hold on, could there be either a business or a ministry here? Because if people are asking the same questions, I say, maybe you should start a blog. Maybe you should start training people on this. Turn your irritation into the manifestation of your blessing. Hello? Are you here? And this same young man, he was telling me the other day, he said, "Dad, what do you think the opportunities are in the future?" And he started telling me, I was like, "What?" He said, "It's going to be food, water, land." I said, "How do you know all these things?" He said, "I researched it. The eyes that look are common." When I was their age, I was thinking of how we enter nightclub. I was looking for opportunities to do stupid things. Thank God for deliverance. And the same young boy, I was with him in Cambridge on a course, and that evening I took him out to dinner, and as we were walking past, I just, he just packed all, when you are packing extra takeaway, and I'm like, "You just ate. Why? What?" I said, "Okay, you're a student." So, and it was cold, and we were just walking past. We just walked past. I just noticed he just stopped by one homeless guy, and so when you're walking with somebody and then I had to break my flow, and I was like, "What?" And he just looked and he tapped the guy. He asked him a question. He said, "Are you hungry?" He said, "Yes." He said he just gave him the 3 bags, and I was like, "Hold on, did you plan that?" He said, "Yeah, that's why he took the food, because he says he's always seen homeless people in Cambridge, and it breaks his heart." And then he said, "You said, Dad, just watch. Just between here and your hotel, you see, we saw 4 different homeless people." And then I just looked at him. I said, "That's a ministry there." Everybody else walked past and they just looked. He walked past and saw something. This is how ministries are birthed. What am I saying? What have you walked past? That is your ministry. What have you walked past? That my younger son, the other one, that one you underestimate him at your own peril. The older one is very, very upfront. This one doesn't talk much. But Jesus, that boy is coming. And so you are waiting for the big boss that will take you to the mega ministry. But that ministry is waiting for what you will see. Who can I help? Who is hungry? God gave famine to Egypt. But he gave the famine to Egypt so that Joseph will rise on it. When famine comes, don't complain with people. Oh, all this, what's all this? What's that? What's that? What's that? Listen to this. It's an opportunity for your rising. Especially economies where things are dysfunctional and don't work. In Nigeria, people always complain. There's no light. There's no this. That no light is somebody's opportunity to create a power project. Do you know in this church, there's no this, there's no that. Maybe it's your opportunity to start something. To develop a ministry. Now, the next thing is, everybody say problem. Next is potential. Everybody say potential. What's potential? Raw material. Raw material. How many people here have asked God for something? You've prayed. Be honest. This is a real church. Prayed. But you've also prayed and you feel you have not received the answer yet. Be honest. Put up your hand. Okay. Oh, the rest of you receive everything. Okay, can you be honest? Now, you've prayed and you feel you have not received the answer yet. It seems like the people behind there are not hearing us at all. Okay. Now, let me tell you. If we did a survey here, you will probably find that 80% of the people who put up their hands, God really answered you. But he did not come the way you thought. Okay, let me ask you. Who here wants more money? Oh, I see God making room for more money in your life. But let me tell you, when you pray, you expect that this is how I used to believe. When I first got saved, I sold 1,000, what the equivalent of £1,000 as a student, and I just calculated it. The Bible says 100 times more. Okay, I said, well, I gave myself a prophecy. Within 100 days, 100 times more will come. Every day I was waiting on my door that somebody will knock and give me £100,000. I waited. Because it was my allowance for 2 months. I was forced to fast every day. And then go to the girls' hostel when it's dinner time and then they will now ask you, so will you like something to eat? Because I expected it would come one way. Then God said, no, it doesn't come that way. It comes by a divine idea and a divine opportunity. And usually when that opportunity comes, it comes with raw materials. Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? God said he will never give you money from heaven. We don't have money in heaven. But we have ideas. He says, prove me now in this. If I will not bless you, give you such a blessing that there will not be room enough. I've never seen God throw money down from heaven. He blesses you with an idea, and he blesses you with opportunities. Now watch this. God has never made ketchup before. Oh. Does God make ketchup? But he makes tomatoes. And the person who made ketchup just had an idea. We can spice up this tomato and make something sweet out of it and package it and sell it. Heinz is one of the richest families in the world. But God does not make ketchup. God doesn't make lemonade. But he makes lemons. And lemons are all over the place. They're in your house. And so what is God looking for? God is looking for people who will partner with him to create, co-creators. And all these things are around you, raw materials. God does not make electricity. But listen to this. God makes the wind. And when the wind blows, somebody who is discerning, who has a destination is going to now say, wow, this wind, if I created a turbine, a wind turbine, it will produce electricity and it will power 200,000 houses. But if you are not looking for electricity, you will not discern the wind. This is deep. Or you just say, it's cold, it's cold. Oh, it's cold, I need my jacket. That's money passing by you. Each time the wind blows, there's money in the wind. God has never one day made a bed, chairs, table, dining table, wooden dining tables. But you know what? He's made trees for years. And anytime you walk past a tree, that's an opportunity for a furniture maker to create something. God gives the raw materials. You have to process it. But you will never line up the raw materials. You will never join the dots unless your mind is already going somewhere. Is this making sense? What do I mean by that? Listen to this. Towards the end of the year, Manny, our media guy, came up to me and said, Pastor, I want us to do the advert for crossover differently this year. I said, what's that? He said, I've written a script. You're going to be part of it. I said, how? He said, you just flow. And he said, oh, he wants me to play the part of a taxi driver. I said, really? Okay. I said, well, anything to make Jesus more popular, no problem. So we did it, a short movie, blah, blah, blah. And God said, this is the beginning of something. So I was feeling chuffed about it. Yeah, so my millennial guys, my people, said, Pastor, that thing does not fly. It doesn't turn up, innit? It's not got sauce on it. I'm on my way there. At least I'm farther away from Pastor Adedem. Who doesn't know what meme is? He call it meme. Say, what is that? So when an opportunity for a meme comes, he won't recognize it. Okay, so anyhow, we now created this movie that was now flew more and all of that. And all of a sudden, God began to remind me that, I walk with you through trends. I said, so, wow, okay, movie, little clips, and all of that. Anyway, we used Jimmy Juice. Jimmy, did her thing and all of that. Long story short, Kenny Black, when I put it up, within seconds, he liked it. I was like, wow. When somebody who is big in this area starts like, it says something. Then we had a crossover, and I don't watch movies. I go and watch, what's the name of that movie again? King of Boys. I just watched it 2 days prior. And then here I am, and the King of Boys herself, the lady, is sitting in the front seat. Now, you must learn to read signs and discern the wind. I say, by the way, could it be that the boss for Hollywood is, I didn't say Nolly, the boss for Hollywood is passing. And it's about time to create a movie. Because I took a clip from what I said, put it on Instagram. My wife's brother, who was in the movies, the son of the woman in the movie, takes the clip and says, the writer and the producer should see this and put it on her whatever. And then when she put it, she now came and made a comment, took the clip and put it on, and it just went boom. Me that have been trying to grow my Instagram. And it's growing one. Every 3 days, one follower. Every 3 follower. I say, where will we get here? Every 3 days. I come and say, welcome. Welcome. Join the boys. When that lady put it in up, she also tagged that Shola Shawale. She put it up as well. You will not believe, in 24 hours, 200 followers. And it's still growing every day. Problem. What else? Potential. People. This is one of the most important ones. In the moving into your mega more room success, God will send people your way. But the problem is that they won't look like it. I remember when Akin Salami joined this church, he was working for Sky Digital. doing, what was it? Putting up dishes. He came to church. They invited me to their house to come for lunch. By that time, I could go to everybody's house. But the interesting thing, when we got to the car, there was one ladder on the. So, say, Pastor, please, you will manage for us. You will help us hold the ladder. This house. But that person who used to put up Sky Digital Dish now owns a station on Sky Digital. It's not wow, it's wahoo. If I saw his car and I say, hey, look, I don't enter Sky Dish Fixers cars. That's how I would have missed that boss. And it's going to get bigger. Are you listening to what I'm saying? I mean, listen, look, I said this across over, I say it again. My wife almost missed her boss. Oh, God. Thank God for the persistence of this bus driver. Can you see how she would have missed? Number 2, you have to seize opportunities. Hey, I think I will continue next week. You have to seize opportunities. The Bible says, as in the book of Ephesians 5:16, it says, making the very most of your time on earth, recognizing and taking advantage. Everybody say recognize, which means to see. And then it says taking advantage, which means to seize of each opportunity, using it with wisdom and diligence, because the days are evil. Very quickly, 3 ways to seize opportunities. Number 1, power. God will send power. And it says, when the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind. Watch this. The believers were expectant. They were praying, preparing. We don't know what God will do. And they stayed in one place and they were praying. Some of you have been praying for so long. They were praying for, and on the 10th day, heaven didn't tell them the day. But heaven sent it suddenly. That when it hit, God, massive revival, rushing mighty wind. And when they acted on it, when the guy stood, Peter stood, he saw the opportunity. Wow, people have gathered. They're asking, what are they saying? What are they saying? He now said, I'm going to preach here. He preached, and 3,000 people were added. If they missed it, they would not have had that many people. Now, what is your rushing mighty wind? Listen to this. This brings me to the point that listen to this. There will be winds of opportunity. But will you be ready when your wind comes? All this while you've been complaining. I don't see. Look, just be preparing. Because your wind is coming. Listen to this. And with every wind, there are windows of opportunity. Because the wind doesn't last forever. It doesn't. The winds have windows. There was one time, there was a wind of property boom. When was it? 1998, 99, 2000, 2001. Property. Anybody, you didn't even have to have anything. Just come enter and say, can I have 3 there? Yeah. No money down. All sorts of things. We're just picking up. Somebody say, how many do you have? 36. But it was a window of, 5 to 7 years or so. And then the window shut. Because windows are not always open. There's also a window of technology that is open right now. Social media is open. Listen to this. This church grew on a social media wind that God blew. I always give the example of when I left the other church. One day I left. As I left, I slept, I said, God, this is like a dream. I woke up and I found out I was churchless. When you've been pastoring for close to 20 years and you are without a church, and they said, I can't start church for 3 months. What happens to a pastor that whatever you are doing ministry? I said, I will find a new church. So there was one, I had 2 Facebook accounts. One was my personal friends, and me, I prefer personal. But I opened another one, and once people see your name, they start adding you like. So I opened a separate one. I wasn't adding them to this one. I want my friends who will call me tight cat, and I'll say, hey, on this side. I don't want all the, I don't want the ones that will be calling me pastor. So I separated, you have to be discerning. So if you church people are calling you tight cat too, and so anyway, so this, this one, people just kept adding. I just add you, anybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry, anybody. So it grew to 5,000 or so. So when I left the church, I said, no church. I said, okay, there are people on this side. I never used to open this other one. I then opened it. And I just put a statement out, just saying, oh, okay, please, I left just to let you people know this, that. To cut a long story short, I switched it off the night before. I slept when I woke up, 3,000 and something likes and something comments. What's this? It started something else. Various news and media houses started taking. They put us in the papers, one something magazine, da. And what is this? Then God said, it's the wind of my spirit that I've been preparing you for the last 23 years. Now your time has come. Do you have something to say? Are you listening to what I'm saying? And then YouTube, Instagram, Facebook suddenly just opened up to me that these are my Boss 82s. And you can't even imagine. This is what is responsible by the grace of God for the breakthrough of this church. That God had been preparing me, but then suddenly a wind blew. But I was ready when my wind came. Will you be ready? I can go on and on. Technology, the same. And then, apart from the power that will come, there's a period you must respond to. I've spoken about. There's a window of opportunity that you need to respond to. For 29 years, God put an idea in me to create a goal-setting journal. Every year, I say, I don't have the time. Towards the end of last year, November, God said, you better do it now. I said, Lord, I'm tired. I was burnt out. But the Lord said, do it now. He now opened my eyes and said, you're going into 2019. 2020 is coming. 2019 is the only opportunity that you will have to prepare for a decade. If you miss it, you will wait another 10 years. I'm telling you, this was the busiest time of my life. I produced it. Thank God I did. Because he's overwhelmed me by the response. What I'm saying is that when your time or your opportunity comes, it will never be convenient. Let me end by just mentioning, a couple of things. The third is the place, but I will tie it in to succeeding with your opportunities. You see, the eagle, when an eagle wants to fly, it has 2 choices, either flaps or it soars. And the eagle, unlike the chicken, when he wants to fly, and he uses a lot of energy. A lot of people are chicken Christians. Always trying to do their own thing. They are trying, always, they'll put something on Instagram to generate, please like now, that's flapping your own wings. But the eagle believer continues to be faithful, preparing themselves, and they just wait for God to blow their wind, as it were. And then the eagle just waits and discerns the wind and rides on it.
I really hope you enjoyed that message. Why don't you join us same time, same place? And in the meantime, don't forget to connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until we see you next time, get prepared.
Thank you for watching this broadcast. For information, visit our socials at The Liberty Church London, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope, or our website www.thelibertychurchlondon.com. Until next time, stay liberated. This broadcast was supported by the Liberty Church and partners worldwide.